Hey everybody, it's a rare rainy day here in Los Angeles, and I thought before we get to the video about my Turbo Grand Prix, I'd just talk about the coronavirus thing here for a second. I, like many people, have decided this is a good time to stay home and avoid crowds and avoid going out. And when you're stuck at home, you kind of got to think, well, what can I actually do with my time? And for me, I think I'm going to be spending a lot more time with my collection of weird cars, like my Turbo Grand Prix, and my Stanza wagon, and my Geo Prism GSI, and my Nova Twin Cam. Since it's unlikely that I'll have access to many new cars to review during this time, I'll be making more videos about the weird idiosyncrasies and strange features of my current fleet of weird cars. And I might even introduce a few new vehicles, so stay tuned. Anyway, I hope you're taking measures to stay healthy and keep yourself occupied as we all get through this. So without further ado, here's the video about my Turbo Grand Prix. Oh, and wash your damn hands! Remember this car? This is my 1990, wait a second, is this a 1990? I can't keep all my cars straight. Yep, that's a 1990. Cool, thanks, I totally couldn't remember. This is my 1990 Pontiac Turbo Grand Prix, the ASC McLaren edition, the one with a 3.1 liter turbocharged 6-cylinder and all sorts of fancy 1990s body cladding. So before we get into an update on this car, let's have a quick recap and remind everyone why this car is so cool. Buttons, so many buttons. Body cladding, so much body cladding. Seat padding, so much seat padding. A super rad compass. Turbocharged, 205 horsepower. Basket weave wheels. Functional hood louvers. One of about only 3,000 ever made. If you want to learn more about this Turbo Grand Prix, just click above to watch my other video about this car. But even with all this radness, I kind of forgot I own this car. I've got nearly 10 cars in my possession, and this one was sitting at my friend's house for the last year, so it hasn't been driven a whole lot, like really much at all. Let's go talk about why it's been sitting for so long. So I originally purchased this car for the measly sum of $1,000. Why was it so cheap? Because the ABS systems in these cars has just about 100% failure rate and parts are no longer available. So yeah, this car does not stop very well. Let me show you a clip of how hard this thing is to stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Almost stops. Come on, you can do it. There we go, we stopped. Woo! So yes, it still stops, but it takes an insane amount of force to get this thing to come to a halt. So yes, mostly terrible and not exactly safe. My plan was to swap out the ABS system and replace it with some sort of power boost out of another GM car or maybe an aftermarket electronic boost brake setup. My friend and 24 Hours of Lemon's teammate Charles offered to help me get the car fixed up, so I brought it over there. Unfortunately, he just hasn't had time, so the car has been sitting. So I haven't had a whole lot of luck getting this thing fixed. I don't have the capabilities to overhaul the brake system myself, and I haven't found a shop that actually wants to work on this car. They all said, no, I don't want to even touch it. But actually, just a couple days ago, I found one shop that said they'd be willing to help me out and take out that whole ABS system and replace it with an electronic boost setup. So I think that's where I'm headed. Unfortunately, just the deposit for this work costs more than I paid for this car, like kind of a lot more. So in the end, it's probably not worth it. This car isn't worth a whole lot of money, but I feel bad about it just sitting here. So I think at this point, that's the path to finally getting this thing fixed. Okay, before I get the car over to that shop to overhaul the brakes, I think I'll just take one last spin with this car around the block to remind myself how bad these brakes actually are. All right, let's go. Dead battery. That's the problem with having so many cars. All of the batteries die. I only have so many battery tenders. All right, let's see if it starts now. Seems to be running pretty good. And just a reminder, this car only has just over 70,000 miles on the clock, which is pretty nuts considering that the ABS system no longer works and kind of renders this car useless. All right, let's see how terrible this is. Yeah, that's weird. I actually think I hear the ABS pump working. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Let's try a quick stop. What? The car actually stopped properly. What's going on here? I hear the ABS pump working. This is very strange. Let's try that again. The car actually stops. What the heck? This is so weird. I'm actually able to stop the car without having to use all of my force. This is insane. I guess my Pontiac just fixed itself. I still don't know what happened. That is so weird. That is really weird. I don't even know what to say. This is the point of the video in which I'm speechless. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm not like hallucinating or anything, or if I'm having like delusions because I have too much exhaust in here or something. Let's try a panic stop. Yeah, that actually worked. Pretty sure Charles did not fix my car. I could just ring him up real quick and ask him. Pretty sure he did nothing to the car other than fix the door. That is weird. Have you ever had a car that just fixed itself? My Pontiac just decided to fix itself. All right, so I guess now that the brakes work, I could just start driving this car like a regular car again. I mean, there's a little bit of hesitation under acceleration, but other than that, there's not really anything else wrong with this car. Maybe it just needs a tune-up. That is just the weirdest thing. Yeah, the ABS pump totally works now. I wonder if there was just a wiring problem, or I can't explain it. I guess I'm just not gonna complain. I'm just gonna accept it, and yeah. This video should just be like 4 minutes of me not knowing what to say, because that is baffling. Well, cool, I dig it. So, it's pretty fantastic that this thing now stops, and it stops really well. Maybe it was just some sort of electrical gremlin that was keeping the ABS pump from working? I'm not sure. Knowing my luck with cars, I don't exactly trust that this newfound stopping power is permanent. But man, the brakes actually work pretty well now. So, what's the plan? I could just start driving and enjoying this car since I haven't ever really driven it that much. But as usual, I have too many cars in my fleet, and I'm just not sure that I ever will really have a chance to drive this one that much. So maybe now's the time that I get this super rare Grand Prix over to a Pontiac fanatic. What do you think I should do? Let me know in the comments below. I've got more videos with my fleet of weird cars, so please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of new videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.